Hello everyone. Today I will recap you a movie titled Witch. So make some tea and we'll start. The film begins with the trial of a man. He states that he did nothing wrong and only carried the word of Christ. He is deprived of all privileges and he and his family leave the village. Some time later, they start living nearby. We see the main character of the film. Her name is Thomasin. She prays and believes that she has sinned. She plays with the child and when she closes her eyes, the baby disappears. Thomasin goes to the forest to look for him. Next, we see someone sticking a knife to the baby's tummy. An old woman who seems to be a witch is smeared with his blood and insides. Brother Thomasin Caleb sees that she is sleeping anxiously. He wakes her up and says that everything will get better. Caleb is talking to his father. He says that Caleb should stop searching for his missing brother, as there is no hope that he is alive. Father says that they will go to the forest to check the traps, to which Caleb notices that they were not allowed to go to the forest before. Father says that with such a harvest they still can't survive the winter and will have to go hunting. In the forest, Father asks Caleb about religion. It's clear that he has learned everything very well and his father praises him. According to their faith, a person is born sinner, which means that the missing baby went to hell and Caleb feels broken because of this. The father exchanged his wife's silver cup from the Indian for traps. They check the traps and all of them worked but are empty. As a result, they come across a hare sitting in the meadow, and their father loads the gun and shoots. He misses and damages his eyes. When Caleb and his father returned, his mother asked where they had been. Caleb lied and said that they went to the valley to look for apples. Thomasin was washing her father's shirt at the stream, and Caleb came for water. Caleb stares at Thomasin's chest, but she doesn't notice it. She sees that Caleb is not himself and calls him to her. They embrace and their younger sister appears from the bushes. She says it was a witch. Thomasin says he will tell his mother that his sister went to the stream. The sister accuses Thomasin of missing the baby and says that the witch took him away and not the wolf, as the father says. Thomasin scares her sister and says that she is a witch. At dinner, the mother asks Thomasin where the silver cup has disappeared. Thomasin says she didn't take it, but her mother doesn't believe her. Then her father tells her that Thomasin didn't take it. Thomasin goes to take the food to the pen and there discovers a hare that her father and Caleb have already seen. Husband and wife are talking. They're worried about what's going on. The wife says they could have sold the cup if it hadn't gone missing. She also says that Thomasin had a sign of female maturity, so she can serve someone. Caleb is about to go somewhere and is discovered by Thomasin. He says if she keeps it a secret, she won't have to go to the village tomorrow. Thomasin asks Caleb to take her with him. They go to check the traps. They even find something in one of them. A little later, they find the same hare and their dog runs after him. Caleb takes a gun and also goes in pursuit, but the horse is very scared. Thomasin falls off his horse. Meanwhile, Thomasin and Caleb are already looking for houses. Caleb is also looking for Thomasin, because they dispersed. The boy hears the dog's pitiful barking. He finds her with her insides sticking out. Thomasin wakes up and hears her father calling her. Caleb finds a lonely forest house and sees a young woman. The woman kisses him and grabs him by the head with an old woman's hand. Meanwhile, at home, Mother is trying to ask Thomasin why they went to the forest. Father admits that it was he who took the cup and sold it. He is going to go look for Caleb in the forest at night in a downpour, but the family manages to stop him. Thomasin goes to take the goats into the pen and finds Caleb without clothes and strength. Caleb has fever and Mother performs a ritual in an attempt to cure him. In the morning, the younger children accuse Thomasin of enchanting Caleb. Thomasin milks the goat and blood flows from the udder instead of milk. The mother sits over Caleb and tells her husband that her son's illness is the witch's tricks. Her husband says it's impossible. He's going to the settlement to get some money from the sale of the harvest. The wife says that after her son disappears, her faith was shaken. The family hears a scream. Caleb screams, he says there's she in him. She twists his guts. An apple falls out of his mouth. The younger children stipulate Thomasin and tell their parents that Thomasin is a witch and that she ate the missing child. Younger children can't pray, they say they don't remember prayers. When Thomasin and parents start praying, the children start screaming. Caleb recovers and suffers. Prayer is recited over him and feels better for him. Caleb is dying. The mother cries over her son's body and chases Thomasin away. Father accuses Thomasin of being a witch. Thomasin tries to justify himself and says that it was the children who started talking to a black goat. The father screams at the children and tells them to confess to the deal with the devil in the form of a goat, but the children are silent. Then the father takes the cleaver and threatens to smash his son's skull, and he starts screaming frightened. Father closes the children and Thomasin in the barn and pins the door. Thomasin asks the children if they serve the devil. They do not give an unambiguous answer. At this time, the parents are burying Caleb. At night, the father prays and asks God to save his children. The mother sees her lost children. They say they couldn't wait to see her. They ask her not to wake her father up. The mother breastfeeds the baby, and we see that in fact her breasts are pecked by crows. At this time, a witch appears in the goat barn. In the morning, the family's father wakes up and we see that his wife has a bloody footprint on her clothes at chest level. He goes outside and sees a dilapidated barn and Thomasin lying on the ground. He is attacked by a goat and punches his stomach with his horns. The man grabs an axe, but the goat attacks again and sticks it into the deck of firewood. Thomasin sits over her father and her mother grabs her. The mother blames Thomasin for everything and asks where the children are. She sees blood on Thomasin's arms and thinks it's the blood of children. Mother accuses Thomasin of everything and starts beating her. Thomasin lies on the ground and reaches out to the knife. She hits her mother on the head and her mother begins to strangle Thomasin. Then Thomasin strikes a few more blows. She cries and hugs her murdered mother. Thomasin gets up and goes into the house. She falls asleep at the table. At night, she wakes up from the ringing. She goes to the sound and comes to the goat and jams the goat to talk to her. He starts talking to her. Thomasin makes a deal with the devil and leaves naked to wander into the forest. She comes to the fire where the same naked women, witches, perform a ritual. They dance by the fire and begin to rise into the air. Thomasin takes off and laughs.